For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Concerns being expressed regarding price gouging. That is an issue that is being discussed, and we'll be taking it up on our program this afternoon. The Education Minister and MP for Dennery North displays magnanimity. Very rare for politicians to do that these days. And the suggestions are that there's a trend of attacking public servants. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon right here on the program NewsSpin, which is being aired on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. In a moment, your calls at 456-457-2979. That's 457-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. 716-2026. So it's 452-2979. Getting it all confused there. 452-2979. And the WhatsApp calls, 716-2026. Kimani, good afternoon to you. Of course, you'll be going through some of the comments in the chat room. And so far, people are so well behaved.
I wouldn't say well behaved, Timothy.
Why? Give me an example of
no one knows my name. Someone says, good afternoon, Tim, Limani, and the listening audience. If it's not Limani, it's this, it's that. Guys,
it's Kamani.
It's Kimani. But everyone is, overall well behaved in the chat room.
All right, okay. So maybe this is a sign of things to come.
Really?
Yeah, maybe, just maybe. All right, what is happening as far as life in St. Lucia? What is worth discussing? And so the Prime Minister, during the sitting of Parliament yesterday, said that there's a new trend on the island. And he'll explain in just a moment. And he's making reference to the island's acting police commissioner, Mr. Ronald Phillip. And you know, so much has been said within the last few weeks and months regarding the Royal St. Lucia Police Force amidst allegations of sexual harassment. Now, to a certain extent, we take those claims and allegations seriously in St. Lucia. It depends on the context. if it is deemed to be political, if it's one side against the other, then there tends to be a lack of consensus on how to deal with matters of that nature. But generally speaking, we should be frowning on such things because, we have our mothers, we have our sisters in the workplace, we have our daughters in the workplace, and women in general, and we should care about them. We cannot work in an environment where people are held to ransom. People must do things that are against their principle and their values. And so there's a code of conduct for how we behave in a society, how we behave in the workplace, and how we behave generally in the global community. So where such allegations are made, there should be the willingness, the desire for there to be an appreciation for investigations to take place. That's thorough, that is fair, so that it could work to the advantage of both the accuser and the accused. And if you have to penalize whoever is found guilty, then go ahead and do it. But in any civilized environment, any society that is aimed at being progressive, then that should be the norm. My information is regarding this or these allegations. A letter has been penned directly to the island's Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for national security, and there should be talks surrounding those allegations very, very soon. But in the meantime, the Prime Minister speaks about a trend of attacking public servants, as if that has not been the norm in St. Lucia, where politicians, if they do not have their way with public servants, particularly with the information that is coming from certain departments. Take, for example, if the Department of Statistics, during the course of its work, would discover that the rate of unemployment for any given period has decreased, and therefore the rate of employment increased, there's been an improvement, jobs have been created. Very often what has happened, the opposition party would question the level of professionalism that's being exercised by people in that department and would fail to accept the outcome of whatever study that would have been conducted or survey, etc., that would determine at a particular juncture that the unemployment rate in the country had been reduced. This happened quite a lot during the reign of the previous administration. And I had to jump to the defense of personnel at the statistics department, in particular the then director, Mr. Edwin St. Catherine. I don't know how many of you can recall that. People questioned the professionalism of the chief medical officer. Politicians were doing that whilst we were battling with COVID-19. And I know that you can recall. They were claiming that it was a case where the then Prime Minister was dictating to the chief medical officer what protocols to implement, what measures to introduce, new measures to introduce, etc., etc. I know that you can remember that. So, the Prime Minister is giving the impression it's only now that public sector workers have been attacked. This has been happening for a very, very long time, dating back even to the John Compton administration of several years ago. And it has progressed, it has continued year after year, spanning several governments in St. Lucia. So there's a case of us being hypocritical yet again. But in the case of the police, there's a case where people are attacking the police. or attacking the hierarchy of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force or anyone who has been accused of anything. It is a case of people are saying, let there not be a rush to judgment. Let us be as thorough as possible, because here is the dilemma. You are talking about the island's lone law enforcement agency, main law enforcement agency. And you cannot have a situation where you have things that are happening there that are contrary to certain regulations, certain standards, certain laws. There are laws against sexual harassment. And just recently, government ministers were boasting about such legislations dealing with domestic violence, among other laws, to protect the rights of women, girls, children, etc. For us now to do an about face, a volte-face, as far as ensuring that we are consistent in protecting the rights of women, there we go again, being very hypocritical. I don't think people are attacking anyone within the Royal St. Lucia Police Force for attacking sake. So let's listen briefly to the Prime Minister as he addressed that issue. A new trend, he says.
There is a trend of attacking public servants. They attack the Chief of Police, the Acting Commissioner of Police. There is a trend of attacking public servants. They attack the Chief of Police, the Acting Commissioner of Police.
So the Prime Minister again giving people the impression that, they're just some individuals in this country who have made it their business to attack the police, attack the Acting Commissioner of Police. I like to disagree as far as this issue is concerned. The Prime Minister obviously is not taking note. He is not taking, he's not paying particular attention to what is happening on the ground in our country and how people are debating and discussing certain issues. It's not an attack on public sector workers. It is not an attack on the police. It is not an attack on the island's Acting Police Commissioner. People want there to be thorough investigation into allegations that are made against any individual, whether it's in the nursing profession, whether it's in the teaching profession, whether as police officers. And also, I've not been able to confirm this, but what I'm hearing is the Acting Police Commissioner, his stint will come to an end at the end of this month, at the end of August. So who knows, come September the 1st, could be he could get an extension. We could have another individual coming in to act as police commissioner of St. Lucia. Who knows? The previous acting police commissioner can return to the fold. You never know what will happen. She could get a new contract to serve as the island's acting police commissioner, or Mr. Ronald Phillip can continue to serve as acting police commissioner. But who knows? A lot can happen. Poleon can return to the helm of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. We open the lines right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And of course, Kimani will be going through periodically your comments in the chat room. So please stand by for that. We also have a notice coming from the Department of Infrastructure. The Department of Infrastructure, Ports and Transport wishes to inform the public that all their offices, north and south, will remain closed on Friday, the 11th of August 2023. This closure is in order to facilitate staff attendance at a staff activity. Members of the public are encouraged to utilize the DigiGov platform to conduct drivers-related transactions. Normal operations will resume on Monday, August 14th, 2023. And as a result of this notice, I came across, I think it's either WhatsApp messages or somebody on Facebook complaining that it just recently that the department had to close its operations yet again, and now it has to do so. But that is the notice coming from the Department of Infrastructure, Ports and Transport, temporary closure of the DIPT, and that is on Friday, August the 11th. All offices north and south will remain closed on that particular day. All right, I think it's long overdue for us to start to take your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And, of course, your comments in the chat room. We have our first caller line. Hello, good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, caller.
I would like to launch a complaint there. Just bear with me. Some years ago, I was working at the Ministry of Education as a watchman and caretaker. And then I was working at the Entrepot Combined School as a watchman and caretaker. And then they shift me to the Entrepot Secondary School as a watchman, not caretaker.
Okay. All right. And so initially you're working as a watchman and caretaker where?
At the Bocage Combined School.
Okay, Bocage.
And then they shift me to the Entrepot Secondary School. Not as a watchman and caretaker, but as a watchman only.
All right.
Now, at that time, the price of the watchman and caretaker, it was 1,000 odd a month, about 1,002 a month. And then they shift me to the Entrepot Secondary School. Karen Roberts in the Ministry of Education at the time told me she put in me to work at the
Bocage, at the Entrepot School, yeah.
Secondary School, yes. But this time, the caretaker not involved is watchman alone, and I will be getting $700 a month. So then, when I went there, I told the head teacher, the Ministry of Education, send me there to work as a watchman, not watchman and caretaker. She told me, all right. Then they had another watchman there doing watchman and caretaker, a fellow by the name of Jazz. So then now, in working there, the head teacher called me and she tell me she wanted me to do caretaker and watchman. I tell her no. They send me to do watchman.
For $700.
Yeah,
right.
For $700. Yeah, not. So then she tell me, well, that's what she wants me to do. So when I was when as the day was going, she come and she tell me she wanted to clean a drain and take out 2 rubbish bins in a gutter. So I told her no. Then when it was about 12 o'clock, she called me and she told me Karen Roberts at the Ministry of Education calling me. So when I went there, Karen Roberts tell me she understand I disobey my superiors. Then I told Karen Roberts, how she mean I disobey my superior? Karen Roberts told me that the head teacher asked me to pick up 2 dustbins in the gutter and clean a gutter, and I refused to do it. I asked Karen Roberts, what did she send me there to do? She tell me watchman. I tell her not watchman and caretaker. Because when you're doing the caretaker, they're paying you for it also.
Right.
She tell me, well, the country don't have work, and if it's so I get it to do it or else leave the work. So I tell her, but that's exploitation. You understand? That's exploitation. Then she tell me, well, I can leave it. So then, literally, I was pushed out of the job. I had to leave the job.
When was that?
Huh?
When was that?
That was under Mario Michel's second term in office.
Okay.
That's the Kenyan to the administration.
So between 2001 and 2006?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So then now, I didn't have no other alternative. My head full, I confused, I depressed, I frustrated. Then I went to the Star newspaper, and Mr. Rickwen gave me that listening aid, and he put it on the newspaper. When he got in contact with them for comment, they said they have no idea of I was working there or I leave that work. I was forced out of the job. That's what the people at the Ministry of Education told him. Then my child mother went and see Mario Michel after that. And Mario Michel told her that they have a new law, the Labour government put, that anybody that go to the press for the Labour Party, they cannot never work under the Labour administration again.
Okay, so that one does not make sense to me at all because we have no such law. Okay, that one does not make sense to me at all. Okay, about this new law that the Labour Party enacted, and if you go out to the press and complain about them, you'll not be getting any work. That one is far-fetched, and it's not true. Anyway, it's not true. But continue.
So then I encounter a fire at my home. My home was totally engulfed in flames.
When was that? When was that?
That was in December.
December of when?
Last year.
Last
year.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went to the fire station for the report. The people at the fire station told me I have to have $100 to pay for the report. I find that very insensitive. All my house got burned, all my things got burned. Where am I getting $100? So anyway, I had to go and beg somebody to lend me the $100. So I got the fire report, brought the fire report in at the Ministry of Equity, and they gave me run around from December last year to now. Now I call radio, last Friday, I call that man there.
Okay, you call another program. You call another program, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he told me after I tell him that I saw the press, I even thinking of committing suicide. So then he gave me his number and tell me call him. When I call him, he tell me to WhatsApp all the information to him. Now knowing what, I have already been victimized and ostracized by the Labour government. You understand? Because from that time, I never get a word. Never get a word. And up to now. So then I tell him, I say, well, no, because if I WhatsApp you, will get all my information and you will know definitely who I am. And then the victimization and the ostracization, it will start again. You understand? So then after that, I call the radio station and I was telling them that. That's Monday this week. And then now, one of the announcers on the radio station telling me that I negative. I mustn't think like that. People call and say that so far they have one teacher Jean that call and say they shouldn't do nothing for me because I exposing the Labour Party.
Well, I tuned into that. Tuned into that particular program, and what I heard the caller say is that your approach was negative. She was saying that if you're a positive thinker and you're seeking assistance from a particular government department or individual, you ought to, go out there and have a positive approach instead of being negative.
But then I given the story why I'm being negative about them. Because I told you about that work at the Ministry of Education as a watchman and caretaker and how they dealt with me.
Mm-hmm.
Even after that, the head teacher met me. She's a 7 days Adventist.
But don't you think those are two separate issues? You seem to be lumping them together as if, they have some kind of, bad blood, or they have something against you, or it's personal, Yes, up to now, from that time Mario Michel was in office to now, he already left office. Under the Labour administration, I have never been employed. Never. So you're always seeking employment from the state. What about the private sector?
The private sector?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel the state and the private sector, they have connections because I've never been employed.
Well,
I'm sick. Up to now, I still seeking employment. I've never been employed.
Well, caller, I mean, no disrespect. Maybe you're a little paranoid if you think the private sector is also against you.
So why
or the private sector is in collusion with the government. Maybe that is the situation. I don't know. Because the SLP has been in office for just 2 years now. What happened before that? You could not have gotten a job with during the previous administration when they came into office between Was it 2016 and 2021?
Yeah, bongs and drop.
Mm-hmm.
Hand to mouth.
Yeah. Okay, but with regard to your incident involving the damage or the destruction of your home by fire, what is the latest with this? You say you forwarded a report? You took the report to the authorities?
Yes.
The fire report?
Yes.
Okay. When was that?
That was some months ago.
To the Ministry of Equity, and what has happened since then?
Nothing.
Okay, you still awaiting a call from them?
Yes, up and down, walk. They give me the run around, until somebody at the Ministry of Equity told me that the permanent secretary at the waterfront there is she that not signing the documents. She just sign that when she wants.
My information is there's a new PS, a new permanent secretary, who might not be too familiar with all of the requests that have been forwarded to the Ministry of Equity regarding destruction of homes by fire. And therefore, maybe that's why the Equity Ministry has been a little tardy in addressing that issue, because earlier this week there's another individual, a female caller to the program, who complained. And since then, Ministry of Equity officials, they have intervened on her behalf. So maybe what can happen is you could visit them again and they will attend to your issue. What is your full name, sir? If you care to reveal that.
No,
I don't. Not. Okay. But I think you should go to the Ministry of Equity and try to see if they can provide you with some level of assistance.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. And talking about getting assistance, the lady who called NewsSpin this week, I think it was on Monday of this week, she's been getting a lot of assistance from the Ministry of Equity. They're trying to address the issue, because I think she too is saying that somehow her fire report could not be located and she got lost in the system because, among other things, you have a new permanent secretary coming in. But so far, I get the impression that she's getting her matters attended to. She's also getting support from a number of news spinners. So let's hear from this lady who called on Monday. And just in case you missed it, she was sounded very frustrated, despondent, and very much concerned about the plight of her children. What could happen to her, the fact that she is now homeless. And up to that time, she was seeking assistance from the Equity Ministry.
I've been going there for 5 months now, and I haven't gotten any help. I'm also a single parent. I lost my job because of I don't have a stable place to live, and I don't have a stable place to keep my children. Now school is about to open, and I'm just here stuck with no help from nobody or anything. I've been going there back and forth. I went to the ministry in town, tried to speak to the permanent secretary, and then I never got to see her. And this is something that increases the crime rate, because I have a teenage son and daughter as well. And today or tomorrow they see I struggling in that way, and somebody offers them to do something out of the way. God forbid. They're going to do it.
Okay, so ever since she called the NewsSpin on Monday, she's been getting lots of assistance from private interests and also from the Equity Ministry. So thank God for her taking the initiative to call this program. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. What is in the chat room, Kimani?
In the chat room, we have someone saying, Tim, yesterday you told Rick not to make excuses for PJP, but today you are doing the exact same thing.
In what way? I'm not making any excuses for any politician. I mean, the person did not give any context. No? They did not give any context as to how I was making excuses
with the previous caller.
No, but he's complaining about not getting employment for so long, because the SLP is in government now for 2 years. What happened between when the United Workers' Party was in office between 2016 and 2021? Anyway, continue.
Another comment, someone says, United, we're strong. Tim, you have highlighted the government failures. Now they are moving. That's it, my people. Another comment, Tim, you have to expose them to get things done in this country. Someone says, why did it have to take her going to the media for the ministry to act? SMH. Someone is advising the first caller to go plant a garden and sell products or go make calls to sell. Someone says, this is why our country will never go forward. This is the taxpayers' money, and negative or not, members of the public should not be treated like this. People have a right to exercise their right to speak, so we are condoning government treating the people's business as their own. Another comment, Tim, at the time the buzzword was affirmative action. You should remember that. I guess when he was referring to the saying that the SLP government at that time put in law that
was victimizing him.
Mm-hmm. Another comment, the Prime Minister has a way of using vague statements. He constantly uses the word they without saying who is the they. Let the PM say exactly and be clear who the they he refers to. Someone says, Tim, nothing is happening in infrastructure. The government's hope is we as St. Lucians forget about this issue. They will distract us with pig and bounty in October and confirm Ronald Phillip as police commissioner. Another comment, someone says, Tim, you look like our Prime Minister in that shirt. Let's see.
I'm sure he'll take offense.
Another comment, sexual assault is a very serious matter. Why would someone want to tarnish the gentleman's name? Someone says, Tim, speaking about COVID-19, I heard there are a couple cases in St. Lucia and maybe one death, but it is all being kept on the down low.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon. Okay, I think we lost that call. Let's get another call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You on the air?
Yeah, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon. I just want to report again on that piece of road in cul-de-sac, opposite the new bridge. You know, when the minibus drivers put it into that piece of road, the Prime Minister said that he will side up with us striking, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Up to now, nothing has been done with that same piece of road. Even Stevenson King himself, highlight that he's disappointed with what's going on in cul-de-sac. Neither the Prime Minister, who has our money, the money, the 150 that we're paying for the repairing of the road, who is collecting it, neither King, who has the ministry under his hand, is doing nothing with that piece of road opposite the new bridge. We can understand the roundabout is taking time, the road is under construction. And that's not my money, that's World Bank funds. But my money is being collected to fix the piece of road that is opposite the new bridge. So you're telling me that if the roundabout takes another year to complete, we are going to drive in that old piece of road, breaking our springs with a load of passengers all the time. Neither the Prime Minister nor Stevenson King, none of them doesn't care. They just have words. The Prime Minister said he will settle with us. That is nonsense. Nothing has been done. Even Stevenson King. Words, and nothing is being done. Tim, I want you to go down there and see what it's like. See what it's like on the other side facing the supermarket. Tim, accident is ready to happen there. Big holes all over the place. And the fellas is doing nothing with that. You understand?
That's just in front of Massey.
Yes,
okay.
At the side of Massey and then opposite the new bridge.
Right.
That can be fixed easily because remember that time the royal personnel from England came to town and he had to go to church by the supermarket on top there. They paved that piece of road in 1 week for him. He doesn't pay any levy. He didn't bring any money. He only gave the Prime Minister a picture frame. But we're paying our money, and the Prime Minister is taking our money, go and pave road for people that visiting brings nothing, and then we are suffering locally. That's unfair. Okay, Tim?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your call. And here's hoping that, again, this particular matter will be attended to by the authorities. All right, let's try again via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Okay, again, we have the same challenge. Let's see if we can put the call on the air. Please bear with us. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's go to the landline. I think we could go to the call now. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. We had some problems with the WhatsApp line. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Tim, it look like your show is the one people have to call to get the issues resolved, but yet still they keep on threatening you.
Well, I mean,
anyway,
we are all about success, eh? We're all about delivering the goods.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're not stopping. Tim, I have a problem. I have a problem with the loan that the government of St. Lucia, they say they seek to reconstruct the old St. Jude's. Timothy, I need St. Lucians to understand, no matter how much loan that Philip J. Pierre and his government source to go and rebuild 10 buildings called St. Jude's or 20 buildings called St. Jude's, the point is that we as a country, we as a people miss out on our health care. So no matter what amount of loans Philip try to source and try to mimic and ridicule the country, saying that he's going to build a new hospital or go back to St. Jude's, we as a country miss out on our first-class health care, which right now as we speak, Timothy, Barbados is building the hospital to welcome that health plan that we were supposed to have in St. Lucia. That is what I want St. Lucians to understand. We do not have it anymore, and it will take about the next maybe 25 years, Timothy, for us to get one again. So Philip Pierre cannot continue to ridicule St. Lucians. St. Lucians have to realize what is happening. The plan that Mr. Chasney had for us, for a better health facility, for St. Lucia to become the hub for healthcare in the OECS and the Caribbean region, it's no more. Barbados has embraced it, while Philip Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party and the government of St. Lucia turn their eyes and their backs on that. Tim, it is no different from when we were supposed to get the U.S. Embassy again. I am saying to St. Lucians, the Labour Party is not for the country. When we were supposed to get that U.S. Embassy, Labour fought Sir John Compton tooth and nail. And we never got it. And what happened, Tim? Barbados took it. St. Lucia, we need to open our eyes to these things. It's not about red and yellow. It is not about red and yellow. And the St. Lucia Labour Party have failed this country for the past, I don't know since when they are in politics, Timothy. And people just calling and saying, loan there. No! We lose out on good health care. Now what will happen to us, Timothy? No health care. We do not have health care, period, in St. Lucia. What is going to happen to us St. Lucians again? We have to pay $1,000 again, go to Barbados again, rent a hotel, get taxis, go to doctors, pay medical bills. That doesn't make no sense when we had a leader that was willing to bring that kind of medical care for us, Timothy. What is wrong with our people? What is wrong with our people in St. Lucia? We keep on playing politics. Nobody seems to love the country anymore. Next page, Timothy. I am hearing that the COVID is rising again in St. Lucia. We have people dying from it, people contracting it, babies, doctors getting it, and tell them, I am not lying. Because they sent a doctor to Tapio, he had it to sick care.
Well, caller, we have not received any official word from the Ministry of Health.
That's where
on
I
this
am
issue.
going. That's
Yeah?
where I am going. Why is it the Ministry of Health is not coming out to tell the people about these things? And look, they had a carnival. What is happening in St. Lucia? What is happening with our country? Nobody is saying anything. Everybody is a cover-up there, a cover-up over there. Timothy, this country is in a total mess. And nobody is saying anything. Nobody is saying anything. What about the school books, Tim? No school books in town. What is happening? And the worst thing when it comes to the school books, the how they call them, the book list is new edition. So you cannot go by the roadside and purchase no books. What is happening? Not a word from nobody.
Okay, caller.
Not a word from nobody.
Thank you so much for your contribution, ma'am. And we'll continue the broadcast with more of your calls, more of your WhatsApp messages, and our discussion in just a moment. Still to come, the island's education minister and MP for Dennery North, quite magnanimous. Stay with us.
Attention all cricket fans and KFC lovers. Brace as your St. Lucia Kings hit the field live in St. Lucia this August at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium. Purchase your Kings box for just $20 for 5 dipping wings, 1 piece chicken, 1 regular fries, and 1 regular soda. Drop your receipt in the box provided and get a chance to witness the games live. Don't be stumped. Follow KFC St. Lucia on social media and tune into this radio station to see if you'll be one of the lucky daily winners. Check press and visit our pages for game dates and times. Every match is a must-see. Cheer on your Kings and let's hit the field like champions. Win regular and VIP tickets to all the games. Compliments KFC.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of caring.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Nightmeds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Automotive art is now bigger and better with bargains galore. Automotive art has expanded. With new exciting products and increased shopping comfort, we welcome you to visit. Celebrate with us and take advantage of our specials. New tires starting at $129, 25% off all tools and accessories, up to 75% off rims, BOGO specials, car care bundles, and other bargains galore. Automotive art, bigger and better.
We have a notice coming from the St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited. Low Select wishes to advise customers and the general public that its customer service offices in Rodney Bay and V4 will be closed to the public on Friday, August 11th, 2023. The closure is necessary, and that is to facilitate staff participation in a work activity. Normal business will resume at all offices on Monday, August 14th, 2023 at 8 o'clock in the morning. Customers who wish to make payments during the closure period are kindly advised to access the My Account service at myaccount.lucelec.com, SurePay's online and walk-in service options, or also the financial institutions that offer this service. For account balances, customers may call the automated account inquiry service line at 457-4433. That's 457-4433, and access other Lucelec services on the virtual service desk at www.lucelec.com. The management of Lucelec regrets any inconvenience that this closure may cause and thanks all for their patience and understanding. Let's continue the broadcast with your calls. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
It's a bit raining in Beaufort, so if you hear a little noise in the background, that's just some rain coming along there.
Okay, we'll try to bear with it.
Let me tell you, Tim, the PM forgot it wasn't it him who just attacked the police some time ago, talking about how police, what did he say about the police talking on Facebook and all of those things?
Yeah.
I am not sure. Somebody called him, mad or what was yesterday. But I don't think he is really all right anyways. The same thing the man said today, he's saying something else tomorrow. However, Tim, one of the burning issues, I always say, I would rather somebody make it, like Shasny had that thing saying, he prefer providing you for, rather than providing you, give you the fish, give you the avenue for you to go and fish for yourself. And this is what the Labour Party is big on. The Labour Party likes to give a little handout there, a little handout there. Now, I was talking to a supporter recently, and he said, oh, you don't see all the things they're giving us, all that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But really, how is that benefiting you? Tim, if I don't have money, how can I buy the plywood? If I don't have a job, how can I take part in any of those things that they're reducing the tax on? Okay? Tim, it does not make sense. The place where I need it the most is on the supermarket shelf. The place that the poor persons needs it the most is on the shelf of the supermarket because they don't have a choice but to go there. But not every poor person or average person will go and buy plywood and these things. How often do you build a house? Every week, every year? And the people that are doing it like that are the ones that can afford it. You understand? When you have jobs, you can do what you want with your money. Okay? But when you don't have no job, you can give me all the handouts you give me. It will finish as soon as you give it. And this is what people need to realize. The Labour Party is famous for that. They will give you handouts. Give people in Shanty gas tanks. You understand? And all of those things. But how is that profiting? How is that benefiting you in the long run? You understand? A pregnant lady, you'll give her a free ultrasound or whatever. How many people don't even have children nowadays? How is that benefiting me as a man? You understand? I need the government to start. Right now, there's about how many? 40 or so people attending. Start the big projects. Start the big projects all over again so that we could work. So that we could do what we want with our money. Don't come and give me no handouts. You understand? Come and give me a little step. You understand? A little thing there. You giving me those things when you keeping me poor by doing that, because at the end of the day, I cannot provide for myself. Okay? That little assistance you gave me for back to school, it will finish me. It will not even buy all the books. You understand? Give me a job. Stir up the economic activity. Give the horse racing track their license so that they could have races. We can get work there. Ojo labs closed. Assist Ojo again so they could reopen, so that young people could get work again. Just imagine things. There's so many young people that was working at Ojo's. Ojo labs closed because this government refused to assist them. And you're telling me you other people? When you give me, okay, a little takada, okay, send me by the road for $500. You understand? Look, even the farmers assistance they will give my head, they cut it again. You understand? They cut on it again. Okay? When you go by the road, nobody can sell whole day. You there, your things spoiling. You understand? We need the government to start those projects so that people could go back to working. That's how you generate economic activity, by people working, not by giving handouts. You understand? The same thing that chastised me for removing the covering on the stadium in St. Jude's. You understand? Musa said so many things. Right now, they're doing the same thing. You're removing the metal now. So it was good for you to, it is good for you to remove the metal, but it was not good for Shasni to remove the old shit that was flying all over the place on it. You understand? So these are the kind of things we need to stop. These are the kind of things these politicians need to stop. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it's not helping us. It's making life worse for us.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. That is your point of view. We have another call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
My only problem I have right now there is the school books.
Mm-hmm. What about?
Going and look for the books, they said they changed the date. It was not even sent out to notify the other parents that they will not be giving the books on the date they sent in the first place. It changed to the 28th. On the 28th, school opening a week after that. What time we having to guarantee that we get all the books for us to go and look for the books? That don't make no sense. The government we have right now, they're failing us. That's a big disappointment to a lot of single parents that's struggling. You know, we going and look for the books and no kind of information is being given out the proper way that they will not be giving the books. That's just a disappointment, because right now if I don't get the books for my kids, I have to go and find money to be able to get the books for them. That don't make no sense. You know, if last year that we got the books in no time, look this year that we have to have everybody head out right now because they're depending on the government for the books, and right now we haven't getting no books.
So what is the reason for the delay, caller? What are they saying?
That's the thing. I don't even know. No information was given, because I went going to look for the books tomorrow. Yesterday I seen the RT boys school they close down, they don't have nobody there. Calling a parent was the one who let me know they changed the date. And the school my child is going to did not even know that they changed the date.
That's a lot of confusion.
Yes, I tell you, because you understand, like the District 1 is getting on the 21st, District 2 the 28th or the 29th. You know, the 28th to September 5th, that we don't have no time to get the balance of the books if we don't get all the books.
Well, caller, I hope at least by the 28th, as is promised, that you'll be able to get the books. But then that is definitely cutting it very close, because I'm sure that you'd want your son or your daughter to have all of her books or his books in time for school.
The government promises that they will give us a helping hand for people that are struggling, and look at that, you cannot be giving books at that time. Not guarantee we get all the books, because last year I didn't get all the books, but I had enough time to get the balance of the books.
Yes.
But look right now, that if I don't get all the books for all free children, how am I supposed to guarantee that I'll be able to get all? And look, the stores don't even have books.
You're facing a serious problem there, ma'am. A serious challenge.
The government promised to help us. We put our trust in them, and they're disappointing us right now there.
Here's hoping somebody from the ministry will call, sir, ma'am, to clarify that particular issue.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you too, ma'am. We continue with your calls. This is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. We have another call via WhatsApp. Let's see if we get this call on the air as we say hello and good afternoon to you on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Hi, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Long time.
It's a while. What's your name, ma'am?
Timothy, you had a topic yesterday. Well, it wasn't, I know you don't have designated topics, but you spoke on a video that you showed of a question that Kimani asked. But there are many of those kinds of things, because there's one I'd like to speak about today that annoyed me as much as the Prime Minister could annoy me. Okay? The Prime Minister tells us that he got $200 million to finish St. Jude Hospital, right?
Yeah.
That's 76 million US dollars. Sounds like a lot, but we know it's not a lot of money, period. Okay, but he tells us he's going to do with that money the vendors arcade, the fisherman's wharf will be done, the entire front of the water.
No, that's a different project, ma'am. Totally different project. The $75 million is for the St. Jude Hospital. It is also for the other building that was constructed by the previous administration to house the St. Jude Hospital, and also the St. Jude, the stadium as well. That's the $75 million. That's a totally different project.
So
we're talking about the waterfront.
That's $76 million that GPH project
it has nothing to do with...
is not doing...
No.
Okay, all right. So forget about that.
Yes.
We will go back to the other ones. But let me finish the GPH issue. So the young reporter speaking to him, heads up, asked the Prime Minister, what is GPS getting out of the deal?
GPH.
And he tells us, Global Port Holdings. He tells us that they're going to have a 30-year deal, and they can add another 10 years if you choose. So she asked, well, yeah, but what else? And he says, well, they will share the head tax. So again, the astute reporter asks him, well, what does the country get out of this in terms of what is our percentage of the head tax? So the Prime Minister says, well, you know, there's a minimum amount. There's a minimum amount. Yeah, well, what is that? And he says, Well, I'll be dead in 30 years. You might be alive, but I'll be dead. Ha 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 ha. Timothy, we have our ports, the way to come in, the way we bring in food, the way we bring in everything that we need. We're giving those ports to someone else. We don't know if it's to own for 30 years. We don't know if it's to lease for 30 years.
Okay, the government has been
We don't
saying
know if it's
the
to
government has been
manage
saying
for
the
us
government has been saying it's
for 30 years.
to lease for 30 years, and there will GPH will be managing the operations of the port.
Yeah, but we need to see what the contract says, Timothy. We saw what DSH says, and at first it sounded like a good deal, but when you looked at it on paper, you said, nah, it can't be what it is on paper, but it's on the paper that you can decide what it is. So we need to know what's on that paper. Mr. Frederick, you were very good, Richard, at getting us documents. Now nobody even has to sneak it to you. You don't even have to keep a secret. You're there. You're in the government. Bring these documents out on your show on Thursday night. We can discuss it. We can understand it, just like you did for all of the others, because your interest is the betterment of the country, right? Unless you're going to tell us your interest was the betterment of you and whatever organization you chose to join, then you're going to have to come up with those documents because you've made us used to that. So what does that GPH document say? What does it say that we're getting for that $76 million? Because we cannot get a state-of-the-art hospital, and I'm not talking about a building. When the people say, give us the hospital, they're not saying, give us a building. You're haggling over which building is nicer. The people want to know they have an institution that works, that provides medicine, that has equipment that they can go to. That's what they want when they say a hospital. I want to know how that $76 million will give us that, and will give us an international stadium as well. These things are not cheap, especially not today. But nobody says, well, this is how much it's going to cost. This is how much we have. This is how much we're going to pay. They're just telling you, oh, it's a 20-year loan, and we have 5 years when we don't have to pay it. Okay, so what's happening even if it's 2% interest? What's happening with that? So, Timothy, the people are angry. I'm sensing that the people are not happy.
Well,
Things are not working. The Prime Minister believes simply because he says it's for the people that has appeased them and they're okay. But folks are talking about not getting medicines. Folks are talking about not getting books. Folks are talking about a lot of different things, and nobody seems to be hearing them.
But you say the people are angry. Hold on, you say the people are angry and unhappy. I don't get that impression.
Well, when somebody continues to speak about things like passports, about things like books, they may not come out as violently angry, but you can hear and you can sense that it's a frustrating situation for them.
Because if it's one thing that the Prime Minister is famous for is saying, thank God the people are on my side. Thank God the people of St. Lucia understand. Thank God I have the support of the people of St. Lucia.
But the thing is, perhaps he has their support right now, Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he has their support. But just because you have their support, you're going to be complacent? You're not going to hear their cries? Because they really feel it in the pockets.
But that's all what politicians do. After the politicians have lost an election, then they say they will go to the drawing board to find out what transpired. They do not communicate sufficiently with the people. And if they get back into office, they'll communicate more, then consult the people more, etc. But when they're in office, somehow I think they are blinded by so many things, by the power, and also in this case, because of the kind of majority that they enjoy. 15-2 certainly can delude you into thinking that the people are happy with everything that you do, can also cause you to be complacent as a government. And that's at the expense of the people.
And you know what? I would allow it, except allow it to do what next 5 years? To bring in exactly, Pierre is doing exactly what I know I was against when Alan was doing it. He came in and he's doing the exact same things. So we allow him to continue to do it, to bring in the current, the opposition that we have now in its present form, or we have something new, because I believe something new is needed. So Timothy, here's what I propose. Give me 8, 9 good young people. I hear some of them calling your show all the time. 8 or 9 good young people who have St. Lucia's interest at heart, who can think, who has gone through, you have to go to secondary school, okay? It has to be a high school graduate, at least. You know, but there are a lot of very bright young people from Sir Arthur colleges that are just sitting doing nothing. Send them to me. You can find me on Facebook, on WhatsApp. I'm easy to find. And I will work with them and give St. Lucia something better, something different. Where is the special prosecutor? That's the one thing that we counted on to do what we need done. Put some order in this country, because we are out of order and it's only going to get worse. We want to make the young people the scapegoats, but they're mirroring us. They're doing what we do. Maybe not violently with a gun, but we're screwing people anyway. It's the same thing. They're just more risque at it. But we have to do something, because these young boys don't want to die. They don't want to kill each other. You think you grow up in a house, Timothy, you want to see your mother cry? Of course you don't. But they're helpless, but who's helping them? And I know I can reach them. But I'm here. So who's doing it over there? I heard a special prosecutor is a Trinidadian. Will he get into our communities and work with our young people while he works as special prosecutor? I know I would. Timothy, we have to fix a lot of things. A lot of people are hurting, even if they're not saying it, but I know they are, because I know what it's like to be St. Lucian. I know what it's like to be out and maybe to not have. They call this skin and bones. You probably know that. You're from Castries.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they call my brothers. So I know what it's like. So we need somebody who knows what it's like and who has a passion, Timothy.
Don't all the politicians say that before general election? When they get into office, they get so comfortable, they forget what they have said, and they forget about the people and focus on the interests. Take, for example, you are saying you only need is 8 or 9. Right now, how many people we have in the cabinet? About 15 plus people. All right, and are they performing to the satisfaction of the people of St. Lucia? So we say all those nice things, people buy into it, and when we get into office, when governments get into office, it basically is more of the same, because we just do not want to change the things as they are. We maintain the status quo, and it's basically
Can I tell you why
more of the same.
It remains more of the same? Can I say why I think it remains more of the same? Timothy, it remains more of the same because the people are not ready. If the people were ready, it would not be more of the same. And let me explain what I mean. The politicians know that they have the people divided red and yellow. They know that. And it doesn't matter how educated they are, you can't really change a red to a yellow to a red unless there's something tangible in it for them. And the politicians reinforce that because they're not genuine. So it is the people that have to understand that they need somebody to explain some of the things that are not so clear to them so they understand. And they start to make better choices and who you're not always going to get the best. You're not always going to get what you think you're going to get. But you have to equip yourself with the ability to make a good choice. And chances are, if you make a good choice, an informed choice, and make sure who comes to you keeps you informed, then you can hold them to it. But afterwards, it's still up to the people to do something. I'm prepared to march to my representative's office and make demands. But if I did it alone, you think he would listen to me? So you need these young people, those 8 or 9, who are community activists, who can speak, who can build their confidence, who can make a difference. And I'm prepared to work with them. And I have young folks that would be willing to work with me as well. But somebody has to do it. It has to start somewhere. I'd hate to see the little boys kill each other because I grew up with 6 brothers. And they weren't all straight and narrow boys. They made my mother shed a tear or 2 here and there, so I know it, I understand it. So I know the mothers are hurting. I know the fathers are hurting, especially if they're in the house. It's tough for the people. You have to know the people, and I know my people. Thank you, Timothy.
All right. Thank you so much. You just heard there from former magistrate Nigel Toussaint. She needs 8 or 9. Could think of one. That's Kimani. She's writing on set. 8 or 9. So let's reduce it to you need 7 because you already have 1 in Kimani. What's in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, women empowering, ready, steady, let's go. Another comment, people celebrate the removal of VAT 0 rated on some items, but complain when someone promised to remove VAT totally. Another comment, so in essence, GPH will decide what goes in and what goes out. Someone says, let's see how far this $201 million will go. Another comment, the caller is on point. It is about placing St. Lucia head and shoulders above other countries in the region. Instead, we're being shortchanged with petty politics. We need a visionary leader who can take a strategic look at our future and ensure we have a competitive edge, ensuring we thrive and not merely survive. Someone says, there is no continuity. We are not going forward fast enough. We are lost in the big ocean.
I think what is happening to us there is a lot of demagoguery, okay? So the definition of the word is political activity or practices that seek support by appealing to the desires and prejudices of ordinary people rather than by using rational argument. So he'll tell you, Shasne, he's white. Mm-hmm. You need somebody that looks like you to preside over the affairs of the country. In other words, certain pigmentation, dark, etc., as if that will make a difference. So that appeals to our prejudices, that is not so rational, that is being very emotional. Because in the case of the United States, over 300 million people, the minority are blacks. But we had a black president in Obama. Mm-hmm. People were celebrating that. In the case of St. Lucia, you have the white minority, just a few percentage of St. Lucians are considered white. They are part of our society, part of our country. We have Indians. The term we use for them when we want to disrespect them, we call them coolies. Mm-hmm. And we have the blacks as a majority. So if you have an Indian as our prime minister, we say that old coolie. We have brought this into our politics, and this is not who we are. So very soon, if you have a female, people tell you, Famsa, why you have a woman in politics? Look at what's happening in the country. So it's no longer about what you can do. It's not your capacity. It is not about your knowledge. It's not about integrity. Most of all, there's no place for integrity in local politics. There is no place, absolutely no place for integrity in our politics. A politician said a few years ago, politics is not for good boys. And by extension, it is not for good girls. It is basically what you can say to appeal to the people, to their prejudices. Tell them what they want to hear. And you hear people say, and again, I'm sorry for always making that kind of comparison and that example. Shasni is a white man. We don't know white man. We want a black man. So we don't want talented. It's not about talent. And I'm not into that race thing. I'm not into that foreigner thing. Because even to use that term foreigner as if you're talking about some alien, I don't think no one should be described as a foreigner unless you're an alien. Yeah? We are happy when St. Lucians go overseas and they excel in one area or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But if a Guyanese were to succeed in St. Lucia, Jamaican or VNC, etc., we take issue with that. The world, the Caribbean is definitely too small. The world is definitely too small for us to be injecting that kind of prejudice, that kind of division in our country. And I do not see it disappearing anytime soon. Race should not be an issue in our country at all. Because it does not end there. We go on to, this guy is too red skin, this person is too dark. The hair, the quality of your hair, what your nose looks like, your height. And I get it.
The way you speak.
Personally, I get it all the time. Look at me and an MP refers to me, the bandy one. And because I'm from St. Lucia, I'm from Castries, I've gone through it, I understand it very, very well. The young people of this country right now, they have tremendous tolerance for you if whether you're tall, whether you're short, whether you're old, whether you're female and so on. Those are very sophisticated people. Always in their phone, so they know what an old person looks like. That will not work on them. They know what a short person looks like. That will not work on them. But there are certain pockets of this St. Lucian society where it's all about your height, it's all about your complexion, it's not about your talent, it's about whether you're female, whether you're male, whether you're coming from a particular class, a particular society, a particular community. People are stigmatized. If you're from Marsha, if you're from Dennery, if you're from Fuwashu, if you're from Conway, you should not get a job.
I think it's the older generation, Timothy.
Yeah, but you know, there are certain politicians in this country who thrive on that, and we need to discard it because those are the things that are really dividing our people right now. It is really dividing people. And I reach a point where I just see it as unacceptable. We should not be tolerating that at all, at all, at all. If you want to make any kind of progress. Be UWP, be SLP, but do not vote for somebody on the basis of their color, whether they're black, whether they're white, because that has not made a difference in our lives right now. 2 years into the reign of the St. Lucia Labour Party, whether Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister Philip Pierre, wants to believe it or not, people are frustrated. People are very, very, very frustrated. And the high cost of living is an issue for so many people in this country. You wake up, you go to work, you have a salary, you can pay your bills, and you cannot identify with what ordinary folks are going through. People who cannot do it. Like, for example, a politician will tell you there's no poverty in St. Lucia. There are no homeless people in this country. There are homeless people in this country. Okay, but anyway. So I was ranting and ranting and ranting.
I
So
enjoyed it
what's
too.
what's in the chat room?
Let me see what other comments I could find in the chat room. Yes, that's true, Tim. We do not recognize merit enough. Another comment, someone says, Tim Chastney was not perfect, but he worked very hard to make a difference in St. Lucia after Kenny Anthony had the country broke. When he said he could not borrow because something happened. Tim, do you know what had happened? Another comment, someone says, Tim, the white and black in the flag represents the people that is what I thought from young. So for SLP to use the race card, i.e. white people, that is the use of the white in the flag. PJP removed the white. Someone says, why do we only express our loyalty for party, yet none for innovation? Another comment, someone says, Tim, you are being biased. Don't paint all politicians with the same brush. Look at the track record of the Alan Chastney-led administration. They are not perfect, but they are a cut above the present bunch of embarrassment. Someone says, we is black people. That's what the lady in the red t-shirt said. Let me see what other
But you know, we
comments.
run to the white man every time.
We need money.
Every time we have a major signing, it involves a white man, you know. We lease our ports to white people, And I mean, Ms. Tusa did raise this issue about the leasing of our ports, but this went almost unnoticed. And we focused on it on the NewsSpin. We spoke about it. But I guess ordinary solutions, people want to play their politics, would not give attention or pay attention to issues of that nature. There was just not enough consultation and discussion on this issue. You're not leasing your home to the Russians, as some people are doing in St. Lucia via CIP. You're leasing your ports.
But didn't they stop CIP for Russian nationals?
Yeah, I just like to say the Russians because it did happen. There are Russians who either have our passports right now, who are leasing certain apartments, and they have never visited St. Lucia. Okay, so that means that's a reality. You're talking about our ports, leased to foreigners and the white people, and that's what the SLP was thriving on, foreigners and white people. So, I mean, when you very soon you walk into the Castries port, it doesn't really belong to you anymore. It's being leased to a foreign interest, is being managed by a foreign interest, and that foreign interest is saying to us 100% of the employees there will be St. Lucians. But the same master thing we're talking about, they will be our bosses, our ports. Anyway.
Another comment, someone says, everyone can do the job when they are in opposition, but when they get inside, dog bite you. I remember that the SLP that we invited said that we invited terror to our island if we have a U.S. embassy in St. Lucia, and the Bajans took it with open arms. Someone says, Tim, how can Philip JP have a problem with the Taiwanese loan to give us a state-of-the-art airport, but feel comfortable taking $200 million loan to fix a derelict building? Tim, it is no-brainer that the new hospital will cost us much less to finish, so what's the benefit in expending that amount of money to a galvanized chain of structures? Someone says, no party is for the country. This St. Jude's Hospital thing is too long overdue. It's a big shame. It's embarrassing. And we St. Lucians need to step up, wake up, and demand answers from government. People, it affects us all. We need to step up if we have to march long and hard in the streets. People, we need to do something about it. Caller, wait for the next political rally. You'll see all buses loaded with passengers on the same bad roads.
Let's see if we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon to the rest of the world.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I'm so happy that I get that line since after one I trying to get that. Now, Tim.
Everybody's trying to get the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is true. That's Linglang Wet Puhen. Tim, I'm a resident of Timon. I'm not afraid to mention my name whenever I call, and it is about the area. Today is day number 7, right? Water been wasting at Timon, and people call Wasco many times already. The last time they come and repair the pipe at Timon, it was a damage on one side of the road, both sides of the road, the left and the right. They came, they repaired the right side when you're going up, and they left the other side water running. Okay, and that's about 3 weeks ago. Right now, Tim, I am telling you, I am marking it down. Today is day number 7. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be 8 days. And if water is life, we need to save water, we need to conserve water. I don't understand why Wasco is allowing water to be wasting both sides of the road in the drain. People talking about that thing because the water doesn't have enough pressure, not even to reach by Dr. Secret. Okay? The people that are higher up the road, team, I will not say they are not my concern that they don't have to get water, because I have my tank, I have barrels, and I have other options where if there's no water, I can take a few containers and go where there's Marshall or Bocage, anywhere that I have a standpipe, and fill my containers and bring home. I am calling on the behalf of the people that live in higher up Timon, because Timon have 3 sections. Higher Timon, Timon Central, that is where the court is, and lower Timon. Even the people at the bottom complaining that they're not getting water. But you know what I suspect Wasco is doing, Tim? They're not repairing the pipe on a weekday, but they will do it on a weekend, like a Saturday or Sunday, where they can get time and a half or double time. Somebody is making some money on us, the taxpayers' money. I am calling on Wasco. Dr. Secret is telling you all, Wasco, you are the nasty, sorry to say that, Tim, but that's the nastiest company ever in St. Lucia. Wasco doesn't care about people. And if they say water is life, why so much water wasting day and night? Tim, night time when when everywhere is quiet, I sitting in my living room and I hear water going down the drain, And what Wasco does, you see, like, as I call this afternoon and they get the message, they're closing the water. And 3, 4, 5 days, no water at all. Tim, in that kind of heat nowadays, it is hot day and night. People need to bathe, they need to shower, they need to fresh up themselves. You understand? And Wasco is doing that to Timon people. I don't know what Timon people did to Wasco. They give Wasco giving us that kind of treatment at Timon. I don't like it, and I'm calling on them. The day they come and repair the pipe, I'm going to video them. If you see it's a Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to put it live on Facebook for everybody to see what I'm saying is not a lie. Thank you so much, Tim, for giving me that opportunity.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello. Tim, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, someone happened from travailler Wasco. C'est l'année yon set travailler qui a apporté halfway payé à l'état pour South like yon sel set. Et avec quantité machine, quantité travailler, quantité véhicule qui marche Wasco. Non mais pour qui qu'on sel set moun. Quantité travailler Wasco ni nan numerous of problems. Deux moun gagné qui a pointé up Tim ça vrai ça monsieur dit vrai. À chaque bloc gaspillé ça va dire comment il semble que mon nom qui a payé extra l'argent pour aller water bill la Wasco qui dit donc ça sur yo si quand dit comment comprendre moi ne have issues avec Wasco mais me métier moi avec make sure Wasco resolve si ou dans la Wasco pas pour te connaître water yo ça moi des moun qui pas rendre yo mon pièce et moi te demander pour un certain problème toi te résolver et moi ça dit merci yo résolver ça qui te affecté moi et puis les autres moun en place là moi et puis moi je mérite step up comme chaque fois moi passe en côté et moi répéter ça monsieur dit si l'eau c'est la vie c'est pour ça qu'a gracier la vie pendant les autres pour la peine ça d'autres 3 jours madame pièce l'eau ici yo ça va de tout jerrycan en bleach prêt tout bloc t'amener monter en tête pour me servir et puis là ça ouais Wasco mérite step up avec là dans chaque vieux pipe qui en bas pour depuis il y a 100 ans et qui lève pour tirer ces bails là à chaque c'est de l'eau ça ouais qui a gaspillé la pipe qui en bas c'est mon pas dans ouais mais c'est de l'eau ça dans les bien utiliser nous qui a payé pour ça so Wasco mérite step up à manière yo paye
Tu Mamado. Qui manière quoi Wasco quand on ça because Wasco pas ni là pour faire ça hein?
Wasco pas là pour faire ça
Non. Wasco pas ni là pour faire ça. C'est gouvernement. C'est gouvernement qui pour acheter pour un loan by Wasco et puis pour Wasco hen la ça et puis pour faire c'est by ça ouvler faire. Quoi pour là?
Compagnie ça really how to well happen gouvernement bagay pas je ne change aussi.
Oui.
Quoi ça gagne? Ma rapport italien, abagay ni pour petit marché c'est assez nous pas ça trop ouais c'est dit water c'est glo. Et puis y a ba y a pour monde tout. En chaque monde qui prend la yo ka prend home, yo ka aller carnaval, yo ka aller faire tous les vendredis ou quoi yo ni combien la pierre home ka prend. Acheter 30 gros de la maison. Acheter John Glo, acheter conteneur pour qui l'eau qui est ligne Wasco est pas sans nous. Petit petit mauvais temps qui passe. Laissez l'un café nous il pas dépendant. So nous ne pour ni reliable sources qui c'est reserve sources qui a stock de la caille nous. Laisse dépenser de l'eau qui a pas pour Wasco. Parce que les pièces accident fait nous pas ça blâmer Wasco tout là. Et Wasco fait un spell l'année au compagnie moun qui travaille yon pas avec yon l'année au compagnie qui conduct etc. là. C'est nom ça a parlé ba moi. Head boss Wasco has any résolver problème côté moi a comprendre aussi du Wasco red boy. Mais nous même citoyens pays nous sommes reckless. Là dépenser l'argent et ni qui la cadre Wasco en fonction. Et magie. Bye bye.
C'est où qui fait adla comme à votre tank là. Right? Qui mane?
But moi la team.
Non, mais Kamado, c'est où qui fait adla?
I did.
So, ou d'accord avec ça, monsieur a dit.
I agree.
Ça fait sens,
Yes.
Oui? Okay. So Kisho, uni untango, homo? Upani?
When how do you call it again? A drum.
Yeah.
I have a drum, not a tank.
Pas jodi when your tongue when pour mettre avec mon fait pas jodi l'année when you tongue ça back anyway. We have a notice coming from Lusilek. Lusilek wishes to advise customers and the general public that its customer service offices in Rodney Bay. Please bear with me. Okay, I'll get back to that in just a moment. Do you have any messages to go through? Because I lost my script there. I'll be going through it in just a moment.
In the chat room, someone says, let's see, there should be competition for Wasco. Another comment, someone says, you think Wasco cares about money they are loaded with, that the people need to open their eyes. Another comment, and when Wasco is done, they just putting the cost on the residents' bill.
But I have some sympathy for Wasco because they've been complaining about lack of financial resources and deterioration of the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly will take a lot.
For a while now, though.
Yeah, it will take money it will take the government, to invest in Wasco, in the plant, in the infrastructure to make those necessary improvements.
Mm-hmm.
It will not happen overnight. Because every now and then a little patchwork here and there, certainly that will not suffice. But anyway, let me go through that notice. Lusilek wishes to advise customers and the general public that its customer service offices in Rodney Bay and also VA4 will be closed to the public on Friday, August 11th, 2023. This closure is necessary to facilitate staff participation in a work activity. Normal business will resume at all offices on Monday, August 14th, 2023 at 8 o'clock in the morning. And continuing with that notice, customers who wish to make payments during the closure period are kindly advised to access the My Account service at myaccount.lusilek.com, SurePay's online and walking service options, or the financial institutions that offer this service. For account balances, customers may call the automated account inquiry service line, and that number is 457-4433, and access other Lusilek services on the virtual service desk at www.lusilek.com. The management of Lusilek regrets any inconvenience that this closure may cause and thanks all for their patience and understanding. Over now to the MP for Dennery North and Education Minister, Sean Edward. He is being magnanimous.
I must place on the record my sincerest expressions of congratulations to Senator Angelina Ferrer-Poleon of Dennery North, Mr. Speaker, on the attainment of her doctorate. Dr. Poleon's achievement should serve as an inspiration for all young people of Dennery North, Mr. Speaker, that irrespective of what your circumstances would have been growing up, if you have the determination to succeed, Mr. Speaker, you can scale some heights in academia that at times can appear to be insurmountable. And so today, notwithstanding that she is a political adversary, Mr. Speaker, I want to place on the record my congratulations to her. And as I said, I'm hoping that her achievement, her academic achievement, will serve as a source of inspiration for many young persons in the Valley who are aspiring to achieve the same. Mr. Speaker, that having been said, Mr. Speaker, I will remain very vigilant as the parliamentary rep and as the chief custodian of the Labour Party's interest in Dennery North. Mr.
All right, paying tribute there to Dr. Angelina Poleon, who is now she has a doctorate, okay? So she now has gotten a doctorate, and paying tribute to her is Sean Edward, and the two contested the Dennery North seat in the last general election. So that's very generous of Mr. Sean Edward. Let's conclude now with our NewsSpin News of the Day. Our NewsSpin News of the Day: Iraq bans the term homosexuality, asks media to use sexual deviance instead. Iraq bans the term homosexuality, asks media to use sexual deviance instead. Our NewsSpin News of the Day, bringing to a conclusion our broadcast for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please join us same time tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, for another edition of NewsSpin. Join me this evening, 7 o'clock on DBS Television for the DBS News World, and 8:30 News Make Alive. Goodbye.